Well, hey there, it's Pierre from Aarhus, Denmark, making a little video tutorial on how I use my GR-55 and my RC-300 and my Golden guitar for a very compact yet very powerful live looping setup. And yeah, first of all, let me quickly run you through how I connected everything to record this video. And I got my output on the GR-55 that I put to my input on the RC-300, and then the main output from my RC loop station I put into my sound card, which is the M-Audio Profile 610, I believe. And I got two microphones. This one I use only for looping, it goes straight into my loop station, and the other one goes straight into the sound card. That's my main microphone I use for singing. I use the other one for looping vocals only. And this one goes straight into the sound card, and I added a little reverb and a little bit of delay on that one. Otherwise I haven't done anything to the sound, it's just straight out of the GR-55 and into the sound card. And no EQs, no nothing. So. And later I'm gonna play a little example, a little song for you, going through some of the things I'm gonna talk about, but first of all I'm gonna walk you through some of the sounds that I'm using for looping, and I'm gonna walk you through the MIDI clock setup between the RC-300 and the GR-55, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about how to arrange songs for looping. So yeah, well, I hope you enjoy, and thanks. Okay, here we are with the setup, ready to talk about my sounds. I'm not going too much into how I made the sounds, more into how I set them up for looping. I have four basic sounds that I use for almost every song, and number one is my acoustic guitar with slow strings in the background. And I've assigned the expression pedal to be the volume of the strings. Yeah, and I on my guitar I assigned the GK1 switch to increase the level of the patch for playing solo. Alright, and the GK2 switch I assigned to turn on and off delay. Alright, and about the delay, if you want to sync up your delay time with the tempo from the loop station, you have to go to Edit, and then to Effect, and then to Delay, and to Delay Time, right there. And then turn, you just have to dial all through the numbers to get to the notes, and then pick a note that you like for your delay. And I like this one. So, and in this sound I assigned the control pedal to be to turn off my strings and turn off the delay and turn on the EQ with the setting I did for when I'm doing my drum thing on the guitar. So turns on everything, and then gives me a drum sound. Alright, number two is my bass. and it's just a standard Fender jazz bass with a bass clean amp and some EQ on that. So. Number 3 is my Fender Strat on a clean twin amp with the gain set high, so to give me a little bit of crunch in the sound. The control pedal is assigned to the amp solo switch for a higher gain, and also assigned to turn on the delay for a good crunchy solo sound. And the expression pedal is assigned to be a crybaby. That's just so I can live out my inner Jimi Hendrix. Yeah. Sound number 4. I'm gonna change bank now. It's my overdrive sound, and it's I'm using the H&H Strat on the bridge pickup and the metal lead amp, and just a lot of gain and a lot of delay. And again, my expression pedal is Crybaby. Alright, and since there are only 3 sounds in a bank in the GR-55, I have copied my acoustic guitar and my crunch sound to the same bank where I have my overdrive. And that means whenever I'm switching bank to play with my overdrive sound, I always have an easy access to the other guitar sound from the previous bank. That's very useful when I'm looping. So, and well, these are pretty much the sounds I use, and it gives me a fine dynamic setup that I can use for most songs. So. Okay, I set my RC-300 up as a master to the GR-55, and that means that I've connected them via MIDI, and I'm controlling the overall tempo in the GR-55 from the tempo that I'm tapping in on my loop station. Since I love delay and I'm using a lot of it, it's very important to me that the two machines work well together MIDI clockwise, and they really do. All you have to do is connect them with the cable and then go to System and MIDI, Edit System MIDI on the GR-55 of course, and then set the MIDI sync to on. And also the program change receive switch to on. Okay, and now it will receive the MIDI clock and the program change from the RC-300. In the RC-300 you have to make sure that your MIDI sync, and it's under MIDI memory edit and under MIDI sync, and you have to make sure that it's set to internal. So now when I'm playing a sound with the delay on, if I change the tempo on my loop station, it will change the delay tempo in my GR-55. It's as easy as that. The one thing about the program change, I've set it up so that my expression pedal on the RC is assigned to change programs and only change between program 4 and 5. In program 4 I have assigned the pedal to increase the program, and in program 5 I've assigned it to decrease the program. So when you go to memory and you go to memory edit and you go to system and you go to memory extend. The first value I put in was 4 and the next is 5. So now the RC-300 only thinks there's two programs in the bank, and it will just switch between those two. And I've assigned so that when I'm pressing the expression pedal, it just switches between 4 and 5 all the time. And the good thing about that is that whenever I go from 4, which is the one I use for recording, when I switch to 5 and go back to 4, it's now empty, and it emptied out all of the memories, so I don't have to erase every track after every song. It just does that. And also it sends the program change to my GR-55 and send it right back to sound number 2, bank 2, sound 1, which is the guitar I'm using for looping. The thing is that it doesn't send out bank changes, so that means that program or patch or memory 1 or whatever they call it in here refers to number 1 over there refers to on the GR-55 bank 1, sound 1, and memory 2 over here refers to bank 1, sound 2, and so on. So to get to bank 2, sound 1, which is the sound that I'm using, starting the loop with, I have to record on memory number 4 over here on my loop station. But since I've set it up so it will change between 4 and 5 all the time, it doesn't really matter to me. I only use the one. And then I've assigned the loop effects pedal to be the microphone on and off, so it doesn't record all the time. And how to do that is you go into memory edit and go forward until you see assign switch. There you go, assign 1 switch, set that to on, then assign target, in this case input mic switch, and then my assigned source is my effect loop pedal. So now it controls the on and off input for the microphone. You can assign every pedal to be whatever you want them to be in this machine, and that's very clever. And you have up till 8 assignments in every memory bank. It's the same as in the GR-55. Then I have this pedal connected to the control 1, and I assigned that to be all start and stop. And it's because I find that the built-in pedal is placed so when I'm standing up and I'm playing guitar and I'm singing, I have to stand on one leg to control this. And I find it a bit hard to hit the pedal in perfect sync while standing on one leg playing and singing at the same time. So it gives me more control when it's down here on the floor next to my right foot right here. So yeah, but that's how we set the MIDI clock up between the RC-300 and the GR-55. Alright, the last thing I'm gonna talk about is arrangements. Because if you're new to looping, you have to rearrange all your songs. And it's very important to be consistent in the way you record your loops, so you don't get confused on stage and can't remember where to record the different parts from song to song. I have kind of a pattern that I'm using. I always use track 1 for drums and for what I call floating guitar. That's a 2-bar guitar part that I figure out will fit under every chord in the song. So it just loops and loops, and it will fit under the chords for the verse and under the chords for the chorus and so on. You will see that later when I'm playing the example. And most of the time I also use track 1 for looping vocals. Track 3 is always my bass track, and it's also where I record my picking guitar if that I need it in the song. And track 2 I use for all the other guitars, like playing chords, doing guitar solo and so on. And having this little system means that I never get confused, and I quite easily can make a loop out of a song I've never looped before. So, because yeah, that's a lot of freedom when you're out live. I set up the RC-300 for recording this way. If you go under track edits in track 1, and then go forward a couple of times, then you come to track measure, and I set that to a value of 2. That's 2 bars. So according to the tempo, it will always start looping after 2 bars. Track 2 and track 3 I set to auto, and that means that I can record as many bars I like, while my 2 bars from track 1 is just looping. If I recorded say 4 bars on track 2, then track 3 will always follow and start looping after 4 bars as well. So they're kind of bound together in the setup that I've done. I could set every track to be independent of each other, and I know that a lot of the ambient artists love that function, but for the pop and rock that I'm playing, I find that my setup works for almost every song. And also it gives me the least amount of work while building the loops. Well, that's about everything there is to my little looping setup. I'll end this tutorial with playing a little song, so you can see some of the things I've been talking about in real-time action. I just hope you'll enjoy that, and thank you very much for watching. Thanks.
God is good, yeah, 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 yeah. great. Yeah, yeah, God is good. Yeah.